Are we sneaking out? Oh gosh, we're sneaking. I'm like, the first time she went to town, I thought she was going to go see Ashen Hawk. Be like, it's the one place I feel safe. But it's happening now. Gosh, if Lavan finds out we went to go meet his dead dad again, he's going to lose his mind. That night, I snuck out of the manor. We are so dead. I passed through the town and into the forest. I treaded down the path I walked on for years to reach the tower I once called home. I believed that I could meet him if I went there. I could see it now. The tower from the outside was completely dark at night. There wasn't a single light. Was he not here? No, knowing that man, he probably felt that lighting a fire was too much trouble. Ashen Hawk! I tried calling out to him, but received no response. Did he not hear me? Or was he sleeping? Or maybe he wasn't there anymore. I shouted even louder in the hopes of erasing my worries. Ashen Hawk! Some birds flew away, startled at my voice. And in place of those birds, I sensed a new presence appearing. He appeared out of nowhere, right in front of me. Zoop! Shouting so loudly at this hour is a bit improper, don't you think? Ashen Hawk! I felt relieved hearing his familiar voice, and I practically rushed toward him. There was no time for the usual banter! Ashen Hawk, you told me before that you loved Francisca, right? What's with you all of a sudden? You said you loved your sons. Lavan and Levi too, right? Didn't you? Calm down. I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh no, has he forgotten again since she's been gone? Like his memories are just like disappearing all over again. Oh no. If you love them, please tell that to Lavan. First, I need you to explain what you're talking about. Let's take it from there. He calmed me down, and I was finally able to explain the circumstances. I told him what happened, how Lavan had completely shut himself off emotionally. My words could no longer reach him. So you came to me? Yes. If he knew how Ashen Hawk felt, if the blood that flowed through him wasn't something to be detested, the darkness inside Lavan could be lifted. I honestly believed that. I didn't know anything about Apris, but I did know Ashen Hawk. The ghost in front of me was someone who had protected me from solitude and loneliness for years. Good grief. It's just so weird being on Lavan's ending and then getting all these CGs of Ashen Hawk. I've got so many conflicting feelings right now. I'm just like, I'm melting in my robe is what I'm doing. Yikes. Okay. I knew that he wasn't a loveless person. I understand. But that's not a good idea. Even after explaining everything, Ashen Hawk's answer was no. But why? Your words don't reach him, so there's no reason mine will. Yeah, okay, so he didn't forget everything, thank goodness. I have no right to be his father. It's arrogant for me to even dare to call him my son. I have no right to talk to him. Yeah, or are you just too scared to talk to him? Even so, there was no one else I could turn to. Ashen Hawk continued with gentle words. Why are you so fixated on him? Why? Because it was the right thing to do. Besides, because it's Lavan. And? I've grown up with him like a brother. He's always helped me, and he also cares deeply about me. Yes, and? Because I want to help him. Because he took care of me, I want to do the same. My thoughts became organized as I spoke them out loud. But there was only one part I couldn't figure out. And you will accept his feelings. Huh?
It seems that you don't realize it, but that's what you're talking about. Are you in love with him in the same way he is with you?
Well, I didn't know. I didn't dislike him. Oh gosh. Can we get some rips in the comments section for our boy? Oh, I thought Shinpachi was like the ultimate zoner of no romance, but I think Jed has taken it to the next level. Oh god, Lavan, I'm so sorry, my dude. She's just not that into you. There was no way I could dislike him, but did I love him? I wasn't sure. Just as Lavan loved me, did I feel the same way? I don't know. But I feel pain when I can't touch him. After I said that, Ashen Hawk burst out laughing. Deserved, honestly. I was being serious. How rude.
You are so dense with these things.
Well, excuse me.
If you don't know, you can't help it. Then I'll just teach it to you. That's called love sickness, without a doubt.
Love sickness? The feeling of longing. So this was what that felt like. That was the emotion I had been feeling. I wanted Lavan to smile. I wanted to understand him. I wanted to touch him. I didn't understand. Trying to give a name to this emotion still didn't feel right, but I don't know if I can call it love sickness. But I do like Lavan. I want to help him.
I see.
He smiled and nodded. He always joked around, but Ashen Hawk really was like a father to me. Ah. I mean, he's technically your father-in-law now, so hey.
Then just be honest with your feelings. Your words will be infinitely more effective than mine.
But my words...
If you don't understand your own emotions, of course it would never reach someone else. But now, that's not true anymore, don't you think?
Yeah.
You should tell him how you feel while you still can. Otherwise, only regrets will remain. I'm a prime example of that.
The tone of his voice was tinged with pain. What happened in his past could never be reversed. But for me? Thank you, Ashen Hawk. I'm glad I came to talk to you.
Because of you, I said things that are unbecoming of me. The day is about to break. You had better return.
You're right. I'll come back to visit sometime.
Come here when it's still bright out. I don't like being woken up at this hour.
Ashen Hawk saw me off as I left the tower. My mind was a mess earlier, but I felt so much better now. I was able to say goodbye to him with a smile. I should be fine now. I would try to talk with Lavan properly once more. I could then tell him how I felt. My true feelings. After the girl left, Ashen Hawk spoke to a dark corner. Alright, third-person narrator.
You heard her.
What? What is this ending? I mean, I was expecting Lavan to follow her. I didn't think, there's no way she's sneaking out. Like, no way, under any Yandere's watch, anybody's sneaking out. He just stood in the corner and Ashen Hawk's like, my boy, did you hear what your wife said about you?
All that's left to do is for you to hear it from her directly. Did you lure her to do this? Who knows?
Ashen Hawk, now is not the time.
I have no intention of calling myself your father, and apologizing for it is pointless now. I know that better than anyone. Of course. But just as she said, words of love should be spoken directly. Do you want to die? Quite clever words to say to a ghost like me. I've always hated that about you.
Lavan removed the chain from his neck. The ring with the hawk motif was hanging from it. Are you returning it?
That sure brings back memories. Every time I see this, I wish you were dead. Even after becoming a ghost, you've always been like shackles on my heart. I thought these shackles would never come off as long as the Wolf Clan existed. But I was wrong. I simply didn't have the strength to remove them. Jed made me realize that. I will return this to you.
He held out the ring, which Ashen Hawk reluctantly accepted. Maybe that's how we put this boy to rest. He needs to get the rings back from everybody. The magical stone's murkiness thinned, letting out a beautiful glimmer and making Ashen Hawk squint.
I was unable to leave anything behind. The clan remained. It's something you left to us. Perhaps. Even if it isn't a sure thing, I will live on as the new Lord of the Wolves. I will continue to protect the town that you have forsaken. Yes, you do that.
Lavan turned his back to the smiling Ashen Hawk and headed into the forest. He walked toward where the girl was. That was kind of wholesome, actually. As wholesome as it could have been between a strange father and son. After going through the forest to return to town, the sky was still dark. However, the smell of the morning was floating in the air. It was about time Lavan normally woke up, so I'd better hurry. I could pretend to wake up as I usually did and leave the room to find Lavan, and then... Nope, not happening.
Judd.
I thought I was hearing things at first. Even though I was thinking of him, I didn't expect I'd hear his voice. But he was standing right in front of me. Lavan? Why?
I didn't see you, so I came outside.
Oh, really? What should I do? All the things I wanted to tell him just vanished from my mind, of course. He appeared so suddenly that I wasn't ready for this. What if he asked me where I was? I didn't think I could tell him honestly. Oh, sorry.
Sorry about yesterday.
I wanted to apologize before he asked me anything, but then he did so first. Huh?
About yesterday. I felt as if I took out my anger on you. I'm sorry.
There was light in Lavan's eyes. Is he back? Then yesterday... Maybe he really was just tired. Then maybe I didn't need to? Girl, you better, or I'm coming through that screen to slap you.
You should tell him how you feel while you still can. Otherwise, only regrets will remain. I'm a prime example of that.
Ashen Hawk's words crossed my mind in my reluctance. I had to tell him now. I didn't want to have any regrets with him. I wanted Lavan to smile. I wanted to understand him. I wanted to touch him. And then I became embarrassed as I thought of the words to say and emotion to express towards Lavan.
Judd?
How about we go for a walk? That was the first thing I blurted out. I needed time to get ready, but if we returned to the manor, I think I would lose that opportunity.
I don't mind.
We walked through the quiet town together. The town was covered in snow year-round and was especially cold in the morning. That was why we walked a little bit closer than usual. News. I couldn't find the opportunity to start the conversation, so we remained silent. Sha-la-la-la, my oh my, look like that girl too shy. She won't confess her love. Wow, wow.
Didn't you want something?
Lavan broke the silence in an impatient yet gentle tone. Oh yeah, there's something I wanted to talk about. I mumbled to myself. I'd made the decision to tell him, but I couldn't find the words. Just kiss the boy! You don't have to say a word, not a single word. Just go on and kiss the boy. I felt so pitiful and frustrated.
If you need time, it doesn't have to be now. We live together in the manor, after all.
No, I can't. It has to be now. I knew I wasn't making sense. I just couldn't bring myself to say it.
Then let's borrow that place.
That place? I looked at Lavan's line of sight and saw the church.
We can get out of the cold, and it'll help you calm down.
But... I wondered if we would be any trouble at this hour. Lawrence and Elric were probably still asleep. But it would be bad if they woke up. I didn't want them hearing this conversation. While my mind was spinning in circles, Lavan quickly moved and opened the door. I had no choice but to run after him. Chad, I swear. I swear, girl. Even at this hour, the church did not keep its doors locked. Did they forget to lock it last night? Or perhaps Lawrence was awake and he unlocked it. He's like, my boy needs help. I will unlock the church. I didn't know why it was that way, but luckily no one was in the chapel. Lavan and I were alone. This situation happened in the past, too. Multiple times. It was a fond memory from not so long ago. Back then, Lavan and I...
What's wrong? What are you laughing about?
We were alone together here before, too. Don't you remember?
When was this?
It wasn't too long ago. It was when we pretended to have a wedding.
Ah.
Lavan seemed to have remembered. He blushed and looked away. That must have been ridiculous. Two boys pretending to get married.
Seriously. I don't know what came over me then.
But in truth, you knew I was a woman even back then, right? I felt so nervous then. I thought that maybe I wouldn't mind going along with it.
I had a hard time holding myself back then, too.
We were joking then, but now I'm really your wife.
Just in name only.
Yeah. Memories were such strange things. Just talking about something we shared together could make everything we said so beautiful. Ever since I was a child, I've looked up to you. You had the strength that I lacked.
I'm not strong.
Yes, I found that out recently. I didn't notice before. You had many worries that you were struggling with. But everyone has issues. I was so dense, yet he carried me. As the eldest son, as the heir to the wolves, as the lord, as a man. He shouldered so many things without his knowing, and it caused him so much strife. But from now on, I want to support you, just like you did for me.
Judd.
Oh, thank the Lord. Praise be. She finally said it. Lawrence, bring out the rice and confetti. Because I love you, Lavan. I finally said it. I wasn't able to earlier, but it came out so smoothly. Lavan stared at me without saying a word. And he won't say a word until you kiss the boy. After a while, he silently held out his hand. I grabbed it without hesitation. I entrusted my body and soul to him as he led me to the stained glass window. Yeah? We were in the same place where we played Wedding that day.
Judd.
Yes.
I want you to be with me.
Yes.
No matter what happens in the future, I will never let you go. I will protect you.
Yes. Gosh, I'm getting Karasuba flashbacks to that one ending of his. And now I'm like all nervous again.
Will you be my wife?
I already had an answer to that. Lavan knew my answer, but he asked so seriously. The playful side of me came out. Lawrence isn't here. We need a priest for a wedding. I hear that's how you do things. You're the one who taught me that.
Seems like I shouldn't have.
Lavan smiled wryly. I was sorry for breaking the mood. But not that sorry. But right now, I guess I'd rather be alone with you. Can you say that again?
I'll say it as many times as I have to. Will you be my wife?
Yes. Praises! Praises! Thank everything. I closed my eyes, and our lips touched. This was the continuation of the wedding from that day. This was the kiss of our vows. On this day, at this moment, we were now husband and wife. From now on, our hearts would never be clouded. I might be tormented again as a witch, and Lavan may suffer as the Lord of the Wolves. Even so, we would take one step at a time together. It was all right to take it slowly. I'd like to live on in this world this way, together with Lavan, forever and ever.
No matter what hardships await us in the future, we can overcome it together. I love you, Jed.
Is that it? Did we do it? No more sadness? Yay! Oh my goodness, I got way too invested in that ending. Okay, low-key though, I was so... Because I didn't know how long it was going to be. The other endings had been relatively short in comparison, right? So when Lavan saved her and then pulled away so fast, I'm like, oh no, this is gonna be real, like, not good, you know, guys? Like, it could be a no good situation. I was just like, are we just gonna be in an unhappy relationship with, like, we're saved, the town is still going, but the guy, like, now hates us because we tried to reciprocate but didn't, like, fully reciprocate? Oh, thank goodness. I'm glad that ending was as long as it was. And that it, like, dealt with a bunch more of Lavan's stuff, because things took a major turn away from Lavan after Lucas came back into the picture in the main story, and I'm like, how are they going to make this flow? But I think they did a good job with the ending. I was like a cat on hot bricks for most of that. I'm like, but, no, this is not the way. I mean, I'm like, okay, is it gonna be like a Psychedelica ending like some of the endings were in the first game? It was a possibility. But Lavan only has one ending, so I panicked, because I'm like, but I want like some kind of something. Sue me, I'm a romantic, I just wanted some kind of something. And we got to something. Phew. Oh, I can sleep easy now. Knowing it did end happily. People in the town still suck. Endings, 50%. The Wolf's Wife. Oh, I love that. That is a great name for an ending. Ah, he's on this thing! Oh, that's great! We're not alone on the main title screen anymore. We got Lavan now. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Is that gonna change each time? Will it rotate after I've got more boys? I have so many questions. Oh. Okay. Guys, thank you for joining me as I freaked out through that ending. Oh. I'm glad it ended relatively happily. Sure, things are not wrapped up, but that's expected because we are nowhere near the end of the game just yet. I'm fine with it. We learned some new things yet again. I'm still slightly worried for Lavan. Man. I think by the end I did buy Jed's feelings toward him, but it's not as obvious as it is for her feelings towards Lucas, let's say. Like, that comes through so strongly in even, like, the main story, and Jed is still stuck in this, like, we're brothers, so of course I love him as a brother. And I'm just like, oh god, this boy's been pining away for ages. But I think she got there in the end. I do. I'm just still like, I feel this ending is going to suffer from some questionable reciprocation on Jed's part. By the time I do other guys' endings, I feel like her feelings will be clearer for some of the other guys, but we'll see. If everything's kind of ambiguous-y, that's fine with me. But this is like this was good. It ended on a kiss. It ended happily. I can sleep happily now. Alright, with that guys, we are done with Psychedelica, the Ashen Hawk for right now. Thank you very much for joining me. So with that, it's time to take a break and go back to Taisho Alice Heads and Tails, and time for an AU over there. We're going to Arvisa Academy. So yeah, it's time to redate all the boys yet again, but they're alternate universe selves, so that should be fun? Question mark? But anyway, hopefully I'll see you over there for that. Otherwise, I'll see you when we come back to Ashen Hawk. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, I will see you later.